Have you
All
got
right.
some music?
Yep. Ba da ba 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 da da ba 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 da 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 ba da 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 da
Two
ba da
guys
da
on a
da
journey
da
to
da
make
da
some
ba da
amends.
da
Hey, don't
da
you
da
mean
da da
almonds?
ba
We're
da
going
da
from
da
the
da
start
da
to the
ba
end.
da 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 da
Are we
da
gonna break
ba
or
da
are we
da
gonna
da da
bend?
da
Two
ba da
friends
da
making
da
amends.
da da.
Hey, we are recording, and this is Making Almonds. I'm with Ryan and I'm Dave. We're going to be having a chat reflecting upon a few things. We are sponsored by Coles multivitamin orange juice. I'm using it as a water bottle. So I'm not sure about the actual juice inside, but the bottle's great to store water until the microplastics deteriorate and disintegrate inside my water very shortly, or maybe now. So if you hear me slurring, that's the microplastics. How are you going, Ryan?
I'm going good. I'm going great. Thank you, David. I'm really liking the upcycling of your water bottle now to microplastic filtered tap water. Um, I'm going good. How
Thank
are
you.
you?
Yes. Okay. So I'm just trying to stay assertive and not fall into some malaise. I'm very tired and
Yep.
I am running on fumes, but I think we're going to have a discussion that will be of interest, maybe just to us, but that's fine. We're self developing and it's going to be something. It's something. Let's do something, Ryan.
It's something. It feels good to do
Mhm.
something. That's what I, that's my mantra at the moment. Just keep showing up. You've done the work. You know you want to do it. You know you might not be able to do it. All these other thoughts and feelings, but if you just show up, it's the best chance you got. So here we are showing up and getting into a nice discussion.
What have you shown up for recently?
Um, I mean, work, but that's just a constant, and that's how I've always been. Which is, then you are showing up for yourself because you're self-supporting, paying your rent, your bills, your expenses, those types of things. And yeah, I've been running, so I've been trying to get back into my fitness, and it's been going really well. So I'm showing up for myself in more ways and going to sleep at a semi-appropriate hour, drinking water, doing all the right things uh, to show up. And
Mm. Do you find all of those activities fulfilling, including the first one?
definitely, as difficult work is at the moment, it's easily bearable because of just my approach to it and not getting too attached to certain things or feelings or things that happen. Um, I have been able to practice really good mindfulness in my approach. Um, I recently reconnected. Rob Collins is in the store. You may know him. He's come and worked at Newcastle West as an acting assistant store manager at the moment to help out. And he was the man that told me, but no matter what happens, it's always just a supermarket. And that has helped me to this day understand that anything can happen. A lot of things go the wrong way. But at the end of it all, it's just a supermarket. You can't control it. You can't fix it. You can't save it. So you just do the best you can and you walk out on time and you go home. Go for a run and record a really cool show with your friend David. So, sorry about that tangent, but here we are.
Ah,
How do you like to show up and I guess remain
I.
constant for yourself?
Mhm. So something that has come to mind because I was doing it earlier is I have been showing up to a film set, and that's been a little bit nerve wracking. I haven't had a whole lot of experience. A lot of the people there are younger than me, and it was just a thing where meeting new people, and when you're in, suppose, the entertainment industry, you're going to be meeting very handsome and attractive and beautiful people, and how will you reflect that upon yourself? How are you going to see yourself in comparison? And that was a little bit daunting. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll come off as the unwashed and be rejected. But I've been able to maybe overcome some of my insecurities, and I have not been rejected so far. So that's great.
That's brilliant. Good on you for facing that. Yeah, rejection is nothing I don't think anyone's fond of, but no, it sounds exciting. So, you want to tell us a little bit more about what you were doing today, what your project is learning towards, and I guess some of the positive interactions that you gain from the experience?
My position is a general runner, and it's also a continuity role. So I need to make sure that things are being consistent, and also if we have particular takes that the director likes, I need to log that and record that in a piece of paper, and I'll send that over to the editor. I'm just trying to think of something that is a little bit richer than that. That seems like a very dry description of the job, and there are probably some philosophical elements to it, but I guess it's just a thing where I'm doing it. I'm not really reflecting that much upon these cerebral things. I'm just actually doing the job and being in the process, which I appreciate. It kind of like gets me out of my navel gazing that I do. Is that something that you relish in your position? You're able to kind of get into the thick of it, into the rhythm, and you don't navel gaze so much?
The problem with what I'm doing with my role is there's not much flow. Like, it's more of a stagnant thing. It's like you walk into this, and then this happens, and then that happens, and then everything happens on time, but it's not like we're not in a position where we can just take things on it and do them. There's a lot of lack of production and just not reaching certain targets and criteria. But that doesn't fall on me, and I'm not letting that affect me in what I do and how I approach every day. So I'm just sort of just taking it on, doing what I can, and doing no more, because it's just a bit of a struggle, and that you get engulfed in that. And so I'm not trying to overwhelm myself, and I'm just doing those things that I can control outside of work, like my running, my fitness, my eating, and taken on this creative path. So that's the balance I needed. I was doing this anyway before, struggling and trying to get through it, and I'm feeling much better about it. Um, these last few weeks and these conversations have really helped me, and give me a lot of confidence and in myself, and that's the most important part. So yeah, it's going terrible, but other than that, it's going well at the same time.
Well done, Ryan. I'm really appreciative of those comments, and I think a lot about you and think a lot of you. One thing regarding work troubles, maybe we can think about it as more of a general thing rather than a specific thing. I don't want you to get in trouble, but what are the troubles that the modern worker in Australia faces?
What was the start
Oh,
of that question?
okay.
Sorry.
So, what are the troubles that a modern worker faces?
Hmm. It's always been the little guy against the big man. And that gap just seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. From my experience, and from, I'm sure maybe other people can relate to this, but there's a lot of change in command. Businesses and industries are understanding they can't run um, on all these expenses and then pay all these wages. So they're forced into a position where they have to shrink certain practices, and they can't necessarily disrupt a workforce more than they have already. So they're starting to remove people in those higher up commands. And so you're seeing less and less I guess contact and interaction between these levels. And that's what I'm explaining, the gap is getting bigger and bigger between who is accountable, who can help, and who we need for direction. It's not like it used to be just everyone knew about what was going on, but now it's like I have to talk to this person and then I have to leave that problem with them to wait to hope that then they reach out, then they have to hear back. They don't get the answer they want, they've got to go elsewhere. And then it's just that gap, and it should just be a matter of a quick sort of solution. And now we're left with I guess more time and more funding, lack of funding, and just more problems that are happening that keep coming up, and they have more of a responsibility to take on. An example would be my real estate agent. um, they're 1 minute they've got 200 properties, and then they merge with another real estate and they absorb 150 of the properties that they were looking after, but they're just doing the same job and getting paid the same to deal with. And everyone has different struggles, like I'm sure the workers do. Like, shout out to the miners and those dealing on a construction level, because it's definitely not easy trying to show up to certain environments and places when you're not getting that help or that leadership or that sense of control for those above you. I guess that's what I mean by it's the little guy versus the man.
Mm.
Do you have any thoughts on what a modern
Huh.
worker
Mm.
struggles with?
That's a good question. I have worked in other jobs and it was a bit of a squeeze. I'm just thinking of the kind of the issues of a modern worker. I probably should think about some answers when I ask you this question because I should expect it back. I was thinking regarding, I'm adding a lot of filler words. What should I do? I should just cut straight to the chase. One thing when it comes to the modern worker is that there are these ideas where maybe they're like considered not proper jobs. We've got these gig like the gig economy, and we have the casual economy. I was thinking perhaps that back in the day, okay, you made shoes, you made like an iron piece of iron, you're a blacksmith,
Yeah,
all these products, you'd make these products, and you'd have this pride of work, and you had to have something tangible. With our service economy and our economy, that a lot of it's based in shopping centers, then maybe is a feeling that it's not a proper job. And I think they are proper jobs, but there might be a judgment from other people and a self-judgment that it isn't legitimate.
yeah,
I remember talking to someone who worked at a supermarket, and he's very good at his job, and he's got a lot of dignity when I see him work. And his dad said, "Oh, tell me when you get a proper job." And his brothers are miners, etc., etc. They might be builders, but being inside the service economy, being inside retail, inside a shopping center, it seems to not have the legitimacy.
yeah.
Is that something that you've ever felt, Ryan?
Um, that's more of just a reflection of, I guess, self-imagery.
Mm-hmm.
What do you value? Uh, it's just not nice of his dad to say something like that.
That's true.
Um, Certain people can only work in certain environments. My thing would be just go out and try as many jobs as you can.
Mm.
But I mean, your job is not your life. Some people want to work for that dependency and that title and I guess that status. But if some people are just happy just going to work, something they find easy or something they find I guess convenient, and just working at that level, and then hopefully taking it up to the next step. I think that's where
Mhm.
one of the things the modern day worker does struggle with is knowing that they are capable and that they are willing to go and work in other jobs and careers. And I inspire everyone that can. If you are thinking of another job, there is work out there. There is something for you. Just keep trying, keep searching, keep applying, and hopefully you'll land on your feet and end up in a career that you're truly passionate about, earn a substantial income due to the amount of effort you put in, and it can provide a life in which you want to live. Of course, you know, if we all had a shooting star, that's what we would wish for, but you can work for it. You know, it's out
Mm.
there. So just keep trying and just, yeah, hopefully it works out.
Amen. I'm not sure if I can top that. That's a really good speech, Ryan.
Thank you.
I remember Rob telling me a story, and he was saying, "Oh well, miners might make more money, but they couldn't really do the same job that I do. If you got a miner and Rob in a supermarket aisle, our manager Rob could fill the shelves much faster than the miner."
Yeah.
And I like that. There was another moment that I really liked. He was talking about salmon. There are people in the world, in our economy, that it's so specialized that all they do in their life is to cut salmon. And it's, in the scheme of things, perhaps considered minor, but they take it to this special level that it becomes significant. And I think one other thing, I studied a bit of marketing, and there's something about how these atmospheres that one produces in these stores, they actually make a very big difference, but it might not be consciously there. So, people might not consciously mention it, but they have that insight, and you kind of give a good overall experience to the customer of not just the shopping center, but of life, I think.
That's wonderful.
All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, David. Did you want to wrap things up here and let you get to your class, and we can pick this up over the weekend?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, great work. Thank
You
you for
can
the sponsorship, Coles multivitamin juice bottle.
you can find these at all good recycling bins.
So you see, this product is not directly related to making almonds. Please don't sue us.
All
All right.
right. I'll see you in court.
See you in
Bye.
court. Thanks, everyone.